Before all of that, we've got a story about probably every man's worst nightmare. In 2020, Craig Mycock had a shock diagnosis of penis cancer, which resulted in him having to have a full penis amputation.
Now, Craig is determined to share his story to help other men spot the signs and the symptoms, and he joins us now alongside his partner Colette and Dr. Nighat. And Craig, before we get into this story, I just want to say to you, thank you so much for being here today, because it takes a lot of courage to come on this morning on live telly and share a story like this, and you're going to be helping so many men out there today.
And that's what I want to do.
OK, well, I want to take you back, Craig, to the very, very beginning. How did you spot that, you know, you had cancer in the penis?
I didn't spot it at all.
Oh.
In 2018, I went for a procedure where a camera was inserted into the penis, to the bladder, just to have a look at my bladder and why it was.
For something totally unrelated? Yeah.
Totally unrelated. And whilst I was having that procedure, a nurse actually spotted something on the end of the penis. It was only small, but he was concerned enough to get a doctor in for a second opinion.
And this was like a freckle or a little spot?
It was just a mark, really. Not itchy, not soreness, nothing.
You'd
there
not even
at all.
noticed it yourself?
I didn't. I noticed it, but it was. I just thought it was something what was there.
Yeah.
And part of me. So I just ignored it till the nurse actually examined it and got the doctor for a second opinion.
So, obviously, the nurse said, I'm just going to get that checked out. I'm going to get a doctor and have a second opinion. When did it go from, something that you thought, I think in your own words, you said, maybe I've caught my zipper or something like that. When did it go from that?
Straight away, because I was told I had to go to Christie's Hospital, which is our cancer hospital in Manchester. So when you hear the word Christie's, your heart sinks. Yeah. Because my family's had cancer in the past, we knew what Christie's were about. So unfortunately, it was virtually straight away.
I mean, the seed was planted.
So what did they say to you then?
At Christie's, after a biopsy and talking to the doctors, they knew I had penis cancer.
Right.
So I had to have an operation to have part of the penis taken away and part of my thigh brought and rebuilt the penis. So I wasn't too concerned. I was concerned, but not too concerned. I thought it would be OK to carry on my life.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks later, the lockdown had occurred. I had to go to Christie's on my own, dropped off because of lockdown, of course, and then had the operation. But I was examined prior to the operation, and unfortunately the cancer had spread that violently. They couldn't do the operation at all. So I had to have another biopsy and sent away, and then a new discussion made, which was a few weeks later when they had to then tell me they had to remove, have a glanectomy, which remove a lot of the penis completely.
Oh, Craig, I'm so sorry, because you've went through all that on your own. You know, you went into the hospital. It was a lockdown period. You couldn't have any visitors or anything.
I couldn't have anybody with me at all, no. Which affected me a lot, but you had to grin and bear it, really.
And Craig, I mean, it's anyone's worst nightmare, hearing those words, amputation, things like that. You originally thought, as you said, that you were going in for a surgery that needed to be done, but a rebuild would have happened. Yeah. To know that, as a man, myself as well, that they're going to amputate your penis, what goes through your mind in this moment?
Hell.
Yeah.
Basically hell. You lose all your confidence, your masculinity, you lose your identity, really. And if it wasn't for Colette, it's been by my side all the way, and of course my family, I don't think I would have got... Well, I couldn't get through it, really.
And Colette, you two have been together for 33 years now, so congratulations. But you don't...
I need it.
Yeah. I mean, it must have been a toll on you as well. It's horrific news.
Yeah, I found the mental health side of it was more difficult for me, because seeing Craig go from a man's man and a joker, to somebody that sat in a chair and didn't speak for days, never went out. If he went out and saw anybody, he'd run away. That's the bit that hurt me more, to see him shrivel into this shell of nothing. Craig, to me, is the bravest man on this earth. I mean, he's absolutely amazing, and I understand why he's here. At first, I didn't know why he wanted to do it because I thought it's a lot to do, a lot to share, but he wanted to put his story out, and this is the way.
He's
And
got
you've
you by his
kindly,
side as well.
yeah, you've kindly allowed us to do that. And we are grateful.
Well,
very
no, we're
grateful.
so grateful that you're on the show talking about this, because it's something that you just don't think about. It's something that doesn't go through your head. Thankfully, the surgery was successful, and you did have the full amputation. But it wasn't the fact of the surgery. It actually had a massive toll on your mental health, didn't it?
Yes, it was. It's part of me and part of my story. I had a lot of pain around the area, and I still get a lot of pain down there. Some days it's unbearable. But it was mental torture, if you know what I mean. It took me as far as it possibly could, to a point that I broke, and I did the stupid thing of trying to take my own life.
Oh, okay.
But that's part of my story, and I come out the best side of it.
Yeah.
And this is why I want to get this out there. Penile cancer is out there, and not many people know about it. And I just hopefully that one man will look and say, what is that on the end of my penis or the side of my penis? I'd best go and check it out. And that is why I'm doing this now.
Craig, thank you. Because, you know, you've heard the story yesterday. You were having a check last night, weren't you?
Yeah, I said to Joe, so I said, I'm going to have a look. Because it's not something that I would think to do, you know? Like, reading your story, I mean, as shocking as it is, like you say, hopefully this is going to be insightful to so many men out there watching this show. Because, Dr. Nighat, it's so lovely to see you as well. It's not something you'd think about. It's not something you think, I'm going to get cancer there.
There's so many areas of our body that we don't think that we're going to get cancer there, but it is part of our skin. Skin is our largest organ. We've talked about cancers of the skin, cancers of the breast, cancers of the bowel. You can literally get cancer anywhere, and penile cancer, thankfully, is rare, and it's so important that Craig does highlight his story, because it's rare doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So to put it into perspective, we get about 700 cases of penile cancer in the UK. That's less than 1% of new cancers. If you look at prostate cancer, which we hear a lot more about, even that has its taboo and stigma around it. There's about 40,000 cases. I mean, breast cancer, we hear a lot more about that. There's more cases of breast cancer, but it's taking away that shame and stigma, because as a GP in general practice, I get the patients who come in after all their treatment with the aftermath, and it's the mental toll that it takes. Because Craig highlighted that. You feel very, very alone, and you had to do it in the most horrific circumstances where it was lockdown, and you were told the diagnosis when you were on your own.
And Craig, you know, he didn't think anything of it. He just saw a little freckle. So what should men out there be looking out for?
Of course, so glad that Ryland said that he had a look. So any skin changes that are down there, anything that's longer than, we say persistent skin changes for more than 4 weeks, any irritation, any rash. Sometimes you can get a discharge as well. That's not normal, or any blood. And it's really important then to go a little bit further away from the genitals and look in the groin area, because you can get lumps in the groin. So just like we would say for breast, we always say have a look underneath your armpit and your neck, have a look in the groin area. And then we have something in medicine that we say are red flags. So unintentional weight loss, bowel symptoms, you just feel really tired, bone pain. They are really sinister symptoms that we need to then see you and come and speak to us.
Is there anything that can make certain men more susceptible to potentially getting penile cancer?
So we know that it's a rare cancer already, as I said, but we know that there are certain aspects that are associated with it. So human papillomavirus, a lot of people will know that. Women know that HPV virus because we do cervical screening and we check for it. But 6 out of 10 cases of penile cancer are associated with the HPV virus. That's a virus that sits on our skin and can cause skin changes, and particularly the virus 16 and 18 is associated with that. Age, we do see it in mostly men over the age of 50, but we can see it in younger men. So if you're in your 30s, 40s, please check down there. Just as we say to women, check your boobs, blokes, check your balls and check your penis as well. And then finally, we say smokers. So if you're smoking, then that can be associated with it because of the carcinogenics in cigarette smoke. But actually, the most important thing is being aware of it. And please, please, please do not be embarrassed to come and have that discussion with the doctor if you're ever worried.
I mean, thank you, Craig, for sharing your story today. And you've been through hell and back, but what does life look like for you now?
Life looks different, but positive.
Good.
And I want to just get the... excuse me. I just want to get it out there about the penis cancer.
Yeah.
And so men don't feel alone like I did.
Yeah.
It does make you feel like you're one person and not a family of people. Like you could go and speak to somebody about having lung cancer and everything. I just want people to understand they're not alone out there, and we are out there, and to reach out if they need help.
OK, thank you, Craig.
You're
And thank you,
welcome.
Colette.
What
You're
a
a
couple.
wonderful couple, yeah.
What a couple. We had a nice little giggle before we went on
Yeah.
air as well. See, Craig weren't as nervous as you thought he was going to be, was
No,
it?
no.
It's only
Far
us.
from it.
Don't worry about it. Lovely to see you.
Oh, lovely
And Dr.
to
Nighat,
see
thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.